What is up guys, Kardak here, and today I'm here with another Digimon deck profile. Today we'll be going over the updated Chessmon deck with the updated cards from the starter deck. So without further ado, let's get right into the deck profile. So for the Tamers, we're running 4 of the new Chessmon. So this one on attack, if you have another Digimon on the board, you can draw one. So with this deck, you'll most likely have 2 Digimon on the board to your attacks. So it's a pretty safe choice to just run this one for the extra draw power to dig into your combo pieces, because you will need to replenish your hand since you are hard casting a lot of your pieces. And now let's move on to the main deck. So first up, we are running 4 of the new Pawn Chessmon. This is the white Pawn Chessmon. On play, you can dish a puppet type card from your hand to draw 2. So this will help you speed up your deck, just to help you get more Chessmon pieces into the trash, which will help you fuel your other Pawn Chessmon cards. So it's pretty good. Also gives reboot, which is really nice. And we're also running 4 of the other Pawn Chessmon. This is the black Pawn Chessmon. So it's a little bit different in the condition. This one is a blocker. And on deletion, you can ditch a puppet type card to draw 2. So both of them are still pretty good because they let you filter through your deck pretty fast. And yeah, the one thing you want to do in this deck is you want to ditch Chessmon pieces into your trash as fast as possible, so that you can proc the BT13 Pawn Chessmons. So running 4 of the BT13 Pawn Chessmon, the white Pawn Chessmon. This one on deletion, if it's your turn, you can play a Chessmon level 3 Digimon from your hand without paying its cost. And then if you have 8 Chessmon cards, 8 or more Chessmon cards in your trash, you can increase the cap by 2, so you can play a level 5, which is really strong. So that's why you want to go as fast as possible, because then you'll be able to cheese your way up into a level 5, and then from there you can Digivolve into the King and Queens. So those are pretty good for that. And this one also gives reboot. So all the white pieces give reboot. All the black pieces have blocker. So they kind of white works on your turn, and then black works on your opponent's turn. So that's kind of the general idea. Next, we are running 2 of the Pawn Chessmon, the black one. So this one is a blocker, and if it's your opponent's turn and this card's deleted, you can play a Chessmon level 3 from your hand with a paying cost. And then if you have 8 Chessmon cards in your trash, you can increase the cap by 2. So we're running both of these. The reason why I'm running 2 of this one is because I feel like you will be using this to swing with more often than this one. This one only works when it's blocking, so I think prioritizing this one as 4 is better. Since there are a lot of decks in the game right now that do have removal that is not deletion or attacking, so there's a good chance that they'll bypass through your blockers and you just get screwed. So that's one of the weaknesses in the deck. And so most of the time we want to rely on our own pieces attacking to proc our effects and not rely on blocker. So yeah, that's why these 12 are kind of your main rookies that you want to be using, because this one just lets you draw on play, this one on deletion, so this one doesn't need to be on your opponent's turn, which is really good because you can just use a swing if you need it, and him having blocker is just a plus. So there's that, and this one is just here in case you are playing against a deck that can pop your blockers, or you play this later on. So for example, your opponent deletes one of your other pieces, and then if that piece can call a Chessmon, you can use this, and then you have a secondary blocker on the board. And when this one dies, you can play another one as well. So it's pretty good, but a little bit more situational than the other ones. Now let's move on to the level 4s. So we're running 4 of the Knight Chessmon. This one on your turn, if it is deleted, you can play a Chessmon level 4 lower card. So if you don't have the new Tamer on the board, if you don't have her, you'll most likely go defensive with this one, and if it pops, you play the black piece. So this is the black piece. You need to play the black piece or you can play a level 3, and then that would just continue on the turn. If you can continue attacking, you go into like one of your other Chessmon pieces, like this one, where you can swing with it. And depending on the number of Chessmons you have in your trash, you can either go into level 5, or you can just keep playing your level 3s and just keep filtering your deck. So we're running 4 of the Knight Chessmon, the Black Knight Chessmon as well, just because when this card is deleted on your opponent's turn, you can play a Chessmon card as well. So this one is good for just using to block. And if you go into this card and your opponent doesn't delete it on their turn, you can use this to Digivolve into a level 5, which is fine as well. So next we are running 2 of the Chessmon from ST-19. So this is a non-Chessmon card that we're running. Mainly running this because it has an ability that activates in security, which is you can play a Liberator Tamer, a liberated card from your hand or trash that is 4 cost or less for free. So you can use this to play a Tamer if you check in this one, which is really good. And the second ability is just to get Overclock, which is actually really nice as well. Just because you can use this to get some extra attacks in if you need it. And the inherent ability gives -3000 on all your opponent's security, which is nice. A little bit situational since we're not running the full line, but it does help your other pieces prevent crash less often. So yeah, it's pretty nice. But we're gonna have space for 2, so we're running 2. Next for level 5s, we're running 3 of the Bishop Chessmon. So this is the white piece for level 5. On deletion, if it's your turn, you can play a Chessmon level 5 or lower card. And then it has reboot. And then we're also running the Rook Chessmon from BT13 as well. This one is same as the Knight one, except this one only activates on your opponent's turn and it has a blocker. So you kind of get the rough idea of how the deck works. It's pretty similar to the previous deck that I've showed you guys, but now that we have more pawn Chessmons, the deck is a lot more consistent, and we have ways to turbo our trash. So I wouldn't really say turbo, but a faster way to get cards in the trash. So next we are also running 2 of the Chaperone from ST-19. So we're running this one just because on play on evolution, until the end of your turn, one of your opponent's Digimon gets -3000, and then you have 3 or more Digimon on the board, you can decrease it by a further 3000. So you're using this to get rid of floodgates, and in events that you can go into your level 6, her inherent skill is actually pretty good. If this card would be removed from the battle area on both players' turn, you can either delete a token or a puppet type card to prevent this card from leaving the field. So you can, if it's your opponent turn and they don't attack you, you can forcefully delete one of your black cards so that you can proc the effect to play another card, which is really good. So your board will be replenishing by itself as long as you have cards to in your hand to fuel it. So Chessmon is pretty good. Just getting rid of floodgates is pretty good as well. So running 2 of those. But if you don't like her, you can just fill it in with 2 more of the Chessmon pieces. But personally, I'm a little bit of a fan. And if you actually want, you can actually run the level 3 Chessmon as well from the star deck. You can take out 2 of the Chessmons. You can take out the 2 black pieces if you want. You can take out 2 black pieces if you want, and you can run the Chessmon from that. That will help you search for puppet type pieces as well as the Tamer. So yeah, that's pretty good. But for me, after playtesting this deck for quite a bit, I feel like having more blockers in my hand is more beneficial. It might just be the matchups I've been up against, but if you personally feel like the Chessmon is better for you, you can definitely run that in your deck instead. Next, for the level 6s, we're running 3 of the Queen Chessmon. This is the boss monster of the deck. She's very, very good. So she has blocker, and then on both turns, whenever a Chessmon is deleted, you can make this card. So the Queen of Quest Chessmon is really good because she combos really well with the Tamer. Depending on how many Tamers you have on the board, you can just keep swinging with her, since her ability is not once per turn. You can swing with her, assuming she doesn't die. You can then play a Chessmon piece. Use a Chessmon piece to attack. If it dies, she unsuspends. You can attack with her again. Or sorry, you'll probably have another Chessmon piece out. So for example, you get another one for this one. Then you use this one to swing again. Depending on how many of these you have on the board, you can just keep looping this and just keep going for your opponent's security. So it's pretty good. That's why I'm running this at 4, because you really want to have as many rush gainers as possible. But actually, let's continue on with the rest of the Digimon first. So additionally, we are running 2 of the King Chessmon. So this Digivolves on top of a Chessmon level 5 for 3. And then if you would hard cast this, if you have 8 or more Chessmon cards, you can reduce the cost by 8, so you can hard cast this for 5. And then on evolution and on play, you can delete one of your other Digimon. And then you can play a card that's not King Chessmon. Yeah, you can play a card that's not King Chessmon. So you can forcefully just slap this down and just delete another card to build your board. So depending on the situation, if your opponent doesn't have a way to get rid of your blockers, this can be really good. So we're running 2 King Chessmons for that reason. And next we're running 2 of the Seraphimon Ace. Now this card is here because having extra security is actually super helpful. And in this deck, when you kill your own pawn Chessmon, you can go into a level 5, right? So if you go into a level 5 blocker, you can potentially, oh sorry, this is level 4 blocker. If you have a level 5 blocker, you can sit on this and just like, oh, I have a blocker on the board. But actually, when they attack you, you can just Digivolve into Seraphimon to get a heal. And then, if you have enough security, you can just bounce something, which is really good. So Seraphimon is pretty good in this deck, I think. There's all the other options you can run instead of Seraphimon. You can run the Sendromon if you want. The Sendromon from Star deck. She's okay, but I like having the recovery and the blast evolution mechanic just in case. And some people, instead of running the Seraphimon, you can run the Shine Greymon burst mode, level 7. So you can use that to go on top of your King Chessmon or your Queen Chessmon. But that one is a little tricky because if you can't go into level 6, you won't be able to take advantage of the Shine Greymon. So that's why I'm running the Seraphimon instead. But this is the kind of lineup you can kind of experiment with your own ideas to see how it goes. This is kind of just like a rough skeleton for the deck. Next, of course, we are going to be running the starter deck 19 Tamer. Forgot her name. I think it's what's her name out? Arisa. Yes, her name is Arisa. So Arisa's ability is when a effect plays one of your tokens or one of your Digimon with puppet trait. Suspending this Tamer, you can give it rush. So again, this card just works really well with the whole idea of the deck, because when your Chessmons blow up, they can replace itself. So as long as you have these on the board, you can just keep rushing with it. So it's pretty nice. And we're also running 3 copies of the Chessmon girls. So on play, you can play a pawn Chessmon card in its name from your hand without paying its cost. And then the second ability is whenever a black and yellow 2-color Digimon is played, you can rest this Tamer to draw a card and get 1 memory. So I really want to run this at 4, but I just don't really have the space for it. You can kind of experiment with it on your own. It was deciding whether to run Arisa at 4 or the girls at 4. I think both of them are really good, but personally for me, I am just running for Arisa's because I feel like Arisa just offers more for my game plan. But you can definitely count out one of the Digimons if you want an extra dual tamer. Because this one works on both turns. If you don't use it on your own turn, if you use one of your Digimon to block, and then you play another Digimon, you can rest these to just cut your opponent's turn, which is really good. So I'll probably find a way to bring them back up to 4 if I can. But for now, I think 3. I see them enough that 3 is pretty good. But yeah, ideally, probably want to bump up to 4 later on. And actually, these are one of the cards that you can plan to cut for another tamer. So running 2 of the yellow memory boost and running 2 of the yellow trainings. So these are just here for consistency boosters in case you need to find your combo pieces. This is mainly here to look for Seraphimons or other combo pieces that are normally not searchable. So you can use the trainings to search for Tamers if you really need it. But for now, this is the rough idea of the deck. I've been tuning around with the ratios for the last week or 2. So I don't think this is actually the final build since I am still experimenting. But for the most part, this is a pretty good skeleton in my opinion for the deck. There's just a lot of things you can actually do with this build. You can run more of a Liberator build if you want, but for me, I'm going to have a dedicated Liberator Shuban deck once the new EX set comes out. So for the most part, this is more of a Chessmon deck. So I'm running more of the Chessmon pieces, and most of the other non-Chessmon stuff here is just to help push the deck to be a little bit better, for a little bit more survivability, or just to get rid of annoying floodgates. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this deck, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Deck is super fun to play. I play this deck a lot like a Rookie Rush deck, just with the upside that it can potentially warp into a level 5. Like the rookies can replace us with a level 5. So I think that's pretty good. And it's got a little bit more defensive capabilities than a regular Rookie Rush deck. So yeah. But that's pretty much it for this deck, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. But yeah, this is Karataku, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!